Hey guys, so we have the full data in the game now, so I'm going to go ahead and break down these characters. Now, you've already taken a look at the Goku and Vegeta pretty in-depth. If you guys want to take a look at the video I uploaded, it says breakdown on the thumbnail, so it was a very, very long and in-depth breakdown of the character. I doubt we're going to see anything new here, but I think we'll just start with the Goku and Vegeta anyway. We get to see their stats, which is pretty interesting. All right, so this is a melee type. Obviously, Vegeta is going to be sort of the ranged variant of Goku, I believe. So let's go ahead and take a look once the cord comes back. There we go. Let's go ahead and click this button. We get to see their stats. So keep in mind, this is pre-title boost. So looks like we're looking at like 263-ish, 264-ish to strike attack. Right under 260 to blast. And then I think defenses should, well, the strike defense should be over 170, and then blast defense should be right around 170, which is pretty good. Vegeta doesn't change the stats, but stats, I wouldn't call the stats like utterly insane, but they're certainly not bad. The cards are just extra damage whenever you use them. That's fine. The tags of this character are probably one of the more valuable parts of them. Saiyan, GT, Vegeta Clan, Sun Family, just very, very strong teams. So we know that the strike cards have blast armor, and it looks like Goku's is the one that reduces ki by 30. Vegeta's is the one that blast reduces ki by 30. So the blue card, you know what I'll probably do? If you guys want to see like the super in-depth breakdown of this character, go to the other video, but I'm just going to cover the parts that I think are going to be really impactful. So the first one is going to be this blue card. This blue card is going to be nuts. You can actually fill up your whole Vanish gauge. You have 100% Vanish recovery if you destroy 3 other cards in your hand. And then on top of that, you're getting 45% special move damage inflicted on top of the base 30% buff. And then you're also sort of penetrating the enemy sustained damage cut effects as well, which is very, very strong. Vegeta's blue card is pretty much the same. The only difference is that Vegeta's blue card is going to be destroying enemy cards, whereas Goku's is going to be giving you cards. And I think the giving you cards effect is probably better in this instance, just because Goku, whenever you use the blue card, well, Vegeta too, but whenever you use the blue card, you're ending the blue card with a hand of 0 cards, right? Because you're destroying your hand to increase the damage of the card. So that's going to be very, very impactful. The green card is an AoE knockback. You can increase your Dragon Balls by 1 on hit with Vegeta, and then Goku's is going to destroy enemies' Dragon Balls on hit. So that's really good. The switch mechanic obviously is going to be very strong. The nullify enemy special actions to activate when changing cover effect is going to be insanely strong, but the only problem, I guess quote-unquote problem, is it only is going to activate that effect when the enemy has 3 battle members remaining. So keep in mind that that's what's going to happen there. The Z ability maxed out is 35% to GT and Saiyan, both offenses, 18% to GT base strike defense. So GT is getting a triple stat buff from this, which is pretty insane. And then in terms of the other effects that I want to mention here, just a ton of key. Look how long this is. You're just getting a ton of insane stats. Like Goku, basically the way I like to think of it about this is Goku's the character who's going to be hitting harder. Vegeta's going to be the character who's going to be comboing for a longer period of time. They both, by the way, have cover changes against strikes. So it's not like the Goku and Vegeta last year where Goku was the blast cover change and Vegeta was the strike cover change. They are both strike cover changes. The last thing I do want to cover, just real quick, is that this ability is actually going to be, I think, what defines this character as ridiculously good. The following effects occur when an enemy activates an Ultimate Arts, Awakened Arts, or Rising Rush while this character is in the battlefield, inflicts all enemies with no switching for 5 timer counts, and then shortens allies' sub count by 10. Now, I think the main thought process behind them designing this effect was for it to pair up well with the LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku that just got his Zenkai Awakening, because if you are running these two characters together, you can reduce that Goku sub count by 10, and then if you guys remember what that Goku does, he has a cover rescue ability. So if the enemy rushes you at any point in time, you can simply go back into that Super Saiyan 4 Goku and cover change the rush, right? That's, I think, the main motivation behind why they made this like this. So we'll see how this comes into play here, but that is going to be a super, super strong combo. These tag Goku and Vegeta characters next to the LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku that's got his Zenkai Awakening, that's probably the first thing I'm going to test out with this character, because that does sound like a terrifying combination. But overall, they look very strong. We'll see how they handle Beast Gohan. If I had to choose between which character I think was better, I would probably say I think still Beast is better, but these guys definitely do seem like they're at least going to be able to compete with him, which is very good. All right, so we saw them. Let's go over to the Android 17 next. We did also see some of this guy's abilities as part of the reveal yesterday. Let's bump him up. He's a support character, so I don't really expect him to have crazy stats. Oh, yeah. Those offenses are not exactly crazy. Defensively, though, he's actually looking really good. What is that going to be? 176 blast defense and then like 173, 174 strike defense. That's actually very strong. I will definitely take that. On Android, GT, and powerful opponents, so 3 teams that actually did deserve some buffs. So this is actually, you know, again, I'm not really a huge GT Android 17 mega fan. I don't think anybody is, but in terms of the teams that he's affecting and that he's buffing, I will take this. This is actually not bad. All right, Strike and Blast are normal. The blue card is the Power Blitz, massive explode damage, 20% of special move damage inflicted for 10 counts, and then destroys all of your enemy's special move and special arts cards on hit. So it's a targeted card destruction. Honestly, would anybody have complained if this guy just destroyed your whole hand? Like, instead of just targeting cards to destroy, why not just destroy the hand? I don't know. All right, so the green card is Thirst for Blood. It looks like this is a stop time effect. Draws a blast card next. Key by 50. Okay, that's good. 30% blast damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Nullifies endurance for 5 counts. Really? Okay. And then inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 30% to health restoration for 25 counts. It's actually a pretty good green card. The nullifying endurance effect on a green card, that's not... Is this the first character that has that? I don't think we have another character that specifically gains that effect on green card. That's interesting. Now, I don't think this guy's going to be tearing up characters offensively with these stats. But, you know, you pop this, you rush the enemy. Like, that could actually be pretty decent. All right, main ability is the Infernal Residence. Restores allies' health by 20% and key by 50. Cancels enemy attribute upgrades and buff effects. That's very strong. Just canceling buffs like that. It's always been very good. Randomly draws at most 3 new cards when you have 3 or fewer cards. Okay, so he's basically refilling his hand. Applies attribute upgrade, minus 15% to enemy sustained damage cut effects to self. That is a permanent buff, it looks like. And then he inflicts all enemies with 2 subcounts. Okay. So he's locking the enemy in, but it's only for 2 counts. You know what would have been really nice? If this main ability gave him a green card. Because you know why that would have been nice? You press the main ability. If this gave you a green card, you would have been able to grab endurance penetration, and then you could rush somebody. But that lock, this is a really good main ability. It's doing a lot. It's a team heal. You're canceling buff effects and attribute upgrades. You're refilling your whole hand. You're getting a permanent sustained damage cut penetration ability, and you're locking the enemy in for 2 counts. That's strong. This is definitely a strong main ability. Z ability is 35% GT and Android's blast attack and defense, and then an extra 18% to GT strike defense. So again, another very strong Z ability for GT. Embedded Evil. Again, we already saw this during the reveal yesterday, so I'm not going to go into super detail here, but this guy gets a bunch of buffs depending on how many times he's switched in. Following effects occur according to the number of timer counts allows from battle start, so he's, again, getting more buffs. This guy actually does ramp up a ton of damage. So he's getting 40% damage after 15 counts. He's getting an extra 20% damage after 40 counts. That's 60%. Then he grabs the 90%. So he's going to be at 150. And then it looks like against Sun Family or Android, he's grabbing an extra 20%. So he'll have 170% extra damage to Sun Family and Androids, assuming he has this full passive active here. And then the second unique ability, and then he has own sub count shortened by 2 as default, which is pretty good. And then when this character switches to standby, he's actually a really good support unit. 20 key, 20% damage inflicted. He's drawing a card. He's destroying an enemy card. And he's reducing the arts power of the enemy's strike cards. And then he's also stacking damage. He's giving himself 10% damage inflicted for 10 counts every time this character uses an arts card. But the enemy's HP has to be 70% or less. And then he heals 30% of his HP, 30% of the damage received as HP when the enemy's attack is over. I guess the only downside about this character is he, number one, has to rely on 30 counts elapsing before he grabs card draw speed, which can be an issue. Matches, at least with Beast Gohan, are decided pretty quickly, so it might not be ideal to have to wait for 30 counts to elapse, but at least he's healing at the same time. And then the second thing that I would have a bit of a concern with, at least just because this is the way that a lot of support characters are built these days, is this guy doesn't have death buffs. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, so that's Android 17. Let's actually move on to the EXs here, because we actually didn't see anything about them when they were revealed yesterday. We have EX Machub, red melee type, huh? All right, so yeah, pretty mediocre. Actually, are these mediocre? He's a very one-dimensional character. Look how low his blast attack is. Actually, these stats are not like for an EX character. These are not horrible. He's gonna have just under 260 strike attack, and he'll have high 160s in terms of defenses, which actually is not horrible, but still, GT Fusion Warrior. Okay. Strike is normal, blast is normal. Majin Beam, massive impact damage, 20% strike damage received, and then 100% chance to inflict paralysis. That reminds me of Chilled's blue card. That's actually really annoying. The green card is a stop time effect. Key by 50. Draws a special move arts card next. Activates twice. That's actually pretty good. 50% to the next special move, and then cancels enemies' buff effects. Okay, it's not doing a laundry list of things, but that's actually basic, but it seems pretty good. All right, Rippling Strength. Draws a special move card, so he's drawing a lot of blue cards. He's drawing 2 blue cards through his green card, and he's drawing 1 through his main ability. He heals by 20%, gets 50 key, 30% damage inflicted, and card draw speeds. That's permanent. The card draw speed and damage inflicted look like they're permanent. So you probably just want to pop this as soon as possible, just to get those active. Z ability, GT Fusion, strike attack and defense, and then 18% to GT blast defense. Spiritual Reunion, 80% damage inflicted, 60% reduced damage received, 20% strike damage inflicted, 10 to strike arts cost. Okay. Following effects occur upon landing a strike or a blast arts hit. 15% of damage inflicted, 15 counts. 10% special move damage inflicted, 15 counts, and then reduces enemy key by 20. Following effects occur after enemy attack is over. Shortens ally sub count by 2. It's actually decent. I don't know why they're going to limit that to 3 times only. Just because, like, you compare this ability to, like, Pan's ability, where she reduces the sub count every time she's hit. Like, this is just, I think, worse than that. And it's limited. So, I don't know. Restores own health by 15%, activates 3 times. He's actually getting a lot of damage here. I feel like his blue card's going to hit like a truck. We'll see. Flying effects occur after when changing cover. Reduces damage received by 20% until combo ends. So that paired with this actually could be pretty decent, I think. He inflicts all enemies with 2 subcounts. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 15 to all arts costs for 15 counts. He has decent cover change abilities, but he's not an endurance character, so I don't know how well it's actually going to work. Applies the following effects itself when the character enters the battlefield. There's a defeated battle member. So when there's a dead ally, he gets 20% HP, 30% damage inflicted, 50% to key recovery, card draw speed, and shortens subcount by 2 to self. So he's going to have, assuming you have the main ability popped, he's going to have double card draw speed with this active, a bunch of key recovery. Like this guy, with a dead ally, this guy actually does seem like he'll be pretty decent, but we will have to see how he performs. All right, and then we have the Omega Shenron, which unfortunately is just an EX character, but this art does look very, very nice. He's a ranged type, huh? Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Yeah, not, definitely not ideal. These stats are definitely not what I would call very good. But again, the reason why I wasn't upset about them giving us another Omega Shenron is because Omega Shenron buffs a lot of good teams. Well, not good teams, but teams that need buffs. So he's buffing GT, Powerful Opponent, Fusion Warrior, Regen. Fusion Warrior, I don't know, like, because we're eventually just going to get like broken Fusion Warriors. We do this every celebration. But GT, Powerful Opponent, Regen, I'll take the buffs for those teams. All right, so normal strike and blast. The blue card is the negative karma ball, massive explode damage, 30% to special move damage inflicted for 3 counts. And then the following effects occur if enemy is inflicted with feint. So he probably has another way of inflicting feint in his kit somewhere. 20% of special move damage inflicted for 3 counts, and then reduces enemies' Dragon Balls by 2. That's only if the enemy's fainted. Interesting. All right, so the gigantic plays, we know this. This is red. Well, they're both red, I guess, but the OG red Omega Shenron, the sparking Omega Shenron's a green card. So this is an AoE green card knockback. He gets 50 ki, 20% damage inflicted. Here we go. This is Jiren's mechanic. 25% chance for the next strike arts or blast arts to inflict enemy with feint on hit. Activates twice. That is actually, I think, identical to Jiren's mechanic. Jiren's might be 30, actually. I don't remember the percent chance, but cancels enemy buff effects on hit, activates twice, and then obviously it is comboable, so not bad. Would have liked for it to have cover change nullification, but it's an EX, so I can't really ask for too much. Main ability, Latent Power of the Shadow Dragons, draws a green card next of key, so he actually force draws that. Restores own health by 20% and ki by 50. Gets 1 Dragon Ball. Oh, he has no switching as well. Huh. Wow, that's strong. No switching for 5 counts. Because this is different than the Android 17 we just looked at. Android 17 is giving 2 sub counts to the whole enemy team. This is just no switching. For 5 counts. That is strong. Okay. Z ability is 32% blast attack and defense for powerful opponent GT and 18% to GT strike defense. 90% damage inflicted, 60% reduced damage received, gradually restores health each timer count. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Gets 40 ki, it's actually a lot. 5% chance to strike or blast arts to inflict feint on hit for 20. What are we doing? Android 14? Is that what this is? Green Android 14 from ages ago. Like one of the most toxic characters of all time. I mean, granted, 5% is not high, but when you land this, it's not gonna feel good. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 20% to damage received for 20 counts. Also applies the following effects to self according to the number of remaining battle members. So he's getting 50, 70, and 90% to blast damage, depending on how many battle members are remaining. So if he's the last one alive, he's getting an extra 90% blast attack. So he's going to be at 180% blast attack if he's the last one alive. That's pretty high. Monstrous Threat. The following effects occur upon landing a blast arts hit. He gets 10 ki back. He reduces his cost by 5 for blast arts. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 30% damage received for 10 counts. Seals an enemy card slot randomly for 5 counts. That, I think, is going to be pretty annoying, actually. Sealing a card slot for 5 counts every time you land a blast card. Like, you just rapid-fire blast cards out, and their whole hand is going to be sealed. Applies the following effects to self once 20 timer counts have elapsed from battle start. 50% health restoration, key recovery, and then he gets card draw speed. Okay. He seems all right. I don't think he's going to be crazy good, just because a lot of his damage is locked behind you having dead battle members. Well, I guess I wouldn't say a lot. He's still getting 50% for just having a full team, right? So he's basically starting with 140. That's actually not too bad. The annoying thing about this character is going to be whether he gets the feint or not. Like your blast and strike cards just having an ability to feint you every time they're used. That is very, very annoying. But he seems pretty solid, actually. I'm not disappointed with how they handle this guy. All right, so we have the free-to-play characters next. Let's go start with Zaha. Zaha actually seemed pretty good when I looked at him. These are free characters, so don't expect their stats to be too good. Oh, God, that is not... Yeah. This is what happens when you have the combination of the two dreaded things. Number one, free. They're a free character. And then number two, they're either a defense or support type. Unfortunately for Zaha, he is both. He's a support type free character. So his stats are pretty terrible. Actually, just awful. Trash. Garbage. So his stats suck, and he has no tags. This is off to a pretty interesting start for our boy Zaha here. And 2 normal strike cards is what he holds. He does have a 30% chance to inflict extreme bleed with the strike card, which is definitely not too bad. Blue card is major impact damage, 20% strike. That is like the most generic blue card I've ever seen. The green card is actually seems pretty good. So he gets, 100% to the next strike and special move damage inflicted when you use the green card. And then per time you use the green card, he's getting extra effects here. So the first time is going to give all allies 30% damage inflicted, which is a permanent buff that can't be canceled, which is actually pretty good. I will definitely take that. Just a permanent 30% damage inflicted buff to the whole team. Then for the second time, he is giving all allies nullify attribute downgrades at abnormal conditions, 3 times each. And then from the third time onward, he's healing all allies by 10% HP. And then he's obviously also still going to grab these 2 effects at the top as well every time he uses the green card. Main ability, he force draws a green card, so you can start getting your abilities in. He is a team healer by 15%, gets 50 ki, cancels allies attribute downgrades at normal conditions, and then cancels enemies attribute upgrades and buff effects. The canceling buff effects and attribute upgrades is very strong. And then force drawing a green card is very strong as well, so that's not bad. And he has an HP buffer. He gives 20% game original or blue max base health during battle. The main reason why they did this is because this guy has to be around in the leader slot. He has to. That's literally, he has no tags. So this is obviously the reason why they did this. Unique abilities, he shortens own sub count by 2 as default. Then he gets 90% damage, 50% reduced damage received. Card draw speed, 70% key recovery. Actually not too bad, but I am very, very worried about his tanking abilities. Following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. He draws a special arts card next, activates twice. So he's drawing a green card via his first unique ability, and he's drawing a green card via his main ability. So he's actually drawing infinite green card. He's drawing three green cards because it activates twice. He's force drawing 3 green cards. That's crazy. That is very strong. He's reducing enemy key by 30, plus 10 to all arts costs, and then cancels enemy attribute upgrades. Activates 3 times. That's, again, very strong. Mystic Swordsman. So when he switches to standby, he's healing allies' health by 5%. I'm not sure why this is limited to 3 times. It should be infinite times. He gives allies 30 ki, and then he inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 20% of damage received. Following effects occur to allies when this character is defeated. Yeah, this is good. He does have death buffs. 100% to cure recovery. That is probably going to be pretty underrated. Like that, you're definitely going to notice a massive difference with that active. And then he gives minus 30% to enemy sustained damage cut effects for 20 counts. That's strong. Very, very strong ability, but it's only 20 counts. So overall, he seems like he has some pretty good parts about his kit. But again, the big issue with him is no tags, number 1. And his stats are very low, and he has like no defensive utility. So I think what's going to happen is this guy's going to, you know, if you get lucky and or are actually, you know, good with using him, he could give you an edge. He could be pretty decent, but I imagine this guy's probably just going to get stomped out by the best characters. And then we have the Saiyan in red over here. I'm going to go, again, I don't want to make this too long, so I'm going to go for this pretty fast. He is a range type character. His stats are actually pretty good. Look at that blast attack stat. He's going to have like 263, 264 blast for a free unit. I'll take that. And then defensively, he's looking okay. I wouldn't really call these defensive stats really good, but he'll have like 60,000 strike defense and then 164,000 blast or something like that. He is obviously a Saiyan. That's one of the best tags you could have. Double blast cards is fine. Normal strike and blast. Wild cannon, major impact damage. 30% enemy sustained damage cut effect for 3 counts. Actually, it's not too bad. Not crazy though. The green card is a stop time. He heals own HP by 10%, gives 30 ki, cancels own attribute downgrades, 20% blast damage, and then all enemies get 15% blast damage received. Or sorry, just damage received. Definitely not crazy, but it's not horrible. Main ability draws a blue card next, gives you 50 ki. Actually goes type neutral for 20 counts, which is interesting. And then all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 40% to health restoration. He is a pretty decent. He has a pretty decent Z ability actually. He gives Saiyans and then game originals blast attack and defense, and then game originals blast attack. So he's actually giving 53% to blast attack if you put him in the leader slot. That's actually not bad for a free character. I'll take that. He does extra damage against Saiyans and hybrid Saiyans, 80% damage, 55% reduced damage received, 15% reduced damage received for 60 counts, 40% to health restoration for 50 timer counts. And then whenever the enemy uses a green card while this character's in the battlefield, he gets card draw speed, he reduces their enemy, the enemy key, and then he reduces their arts power, strike and blast arts power. When he enters the battlefield, he grabs a blast card, he grabs 20 ki, 40% extra blast damage, 20% special move damage, reduces enemy ki by 15. And then when he lands a blast card, he is reducing his own blue card cost by 5 up to 20. And then he has a 10% chance to reduce enemies' Dragon Balls by 1, which is LF Goku Black's ability. Applies the following effects to self after enemy attack is over. He's healing and he's getting a damage buff. So the guy seems pretty good. This is definitely more of a generic character, I think, than Zaha. So there's that, but he seems pretty effective in what he's doing. So I think he'll be decent. We'll see. I actually, this might be a hot take, but I think I probably do like Zaha a bit better just because I feel like he'll fit a niche that his teams might need a little bit better than this guy. And I say teams, but he has 0 tags, so it's going to be a leader slot. But I think the triple 4-straw green card is probably going to benefit his teams more than just this guy being just a good character. But I think for the most part, for most players, this guy's going to be the better unit out of him and Zaha. But Zaha, I think, will probably see more play and high level play if you had to choose one of the two. All right, and then we have some equipment. Let's go quickly check this. Archive. All right, so we have this Vegeta equipment over here. This is just GT. Special move damage by 10%, and then critical and critical. So we have 45% to base critical on this. I'm going to go ahead and say no. N-O. What else? Do we have anything else here? I think they said, yeah, they were going to give us a Game Originals unique equipment here. So this is Game Originals. We have, this is very generic. 10% HP, 30% strike attack, 30% blast attack. I mean, it's not bad. It's just very, very baseline, very generic. I think it's good. Is there a Game Originals character that I wouldn't use this on? Probably not. I think you just give this to every single Game Originals character. Okay. I mean, it's very easy to understand that it's good for new players. I think that's the main reason why they did that. And then I still got to farm this. This is now obtainable. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. I think what I'll probably do is I'll probably make another separate video going over the celebration details. We do actually have confirmation now that the banner does have triple sparking rates, but it is not triple Z power. It is just 2 times Z power, but that's still good. I'm very surprised they did not mention that during the reveal yesterday, which is very strange, but let me know down below what you guys think of the part 1 of Legends Festival here. We have all the new character details out. Going to be summoning, going to be doing showcases. Hope you guys are excited. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.